a good time. Good time. For the cooling, drying, fresh Gold Bond powder spray. Like after the gym. Or golf. Or working with animals. Or a hard day's work. Like sportscasting. You said it, ladies. Stay cool with Gold Bond powder spray. Stay cool with Gold Bond. Napa know-how.
The Napa Legend battery does legendary things. Like starting your car when the heat index is $1.25, or making sure your AC stays running like a gazelle. And now, when you buy a Napa Legend battery, you'll get a prepaid Visa card by mail worth $15. $15 back and a new battery? That's not just legendary. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 7/31/17.
To let people know what the heck is coming up later on the show. At Eric Zane Show on Twitter. 800-785-1073. Hey, I want to keep this on the table too at 7:40, 7:45. Have you ever been busted telling a lie so that you can watch or go to a sporting event? We'll hear an incredible story about what a Mexican soccer fan did at about that time. We'll leave your calls when we do that. So, dude in Montgomery County saw something that didn't look quite right. And he called the people who he think made the mess, the people that work for the county. And nothing was done. So, who did he call? Friend of the show, Ken Colker.
They should be going by them.
Montgomery County took down the bathrooms at a local park, but what they did with them did more than just upset the neighbors.
That is until Target A got involved. It was an eyesore that eventually eventually led to one man turning to Target A after Montgomery County refused to take action.
Tonight, Target A investigator Ken Colker shows us how just one phone call from our team is getting results. How's the you can't go county? They said to be helped that signal, the cult signal.
The county is supposed to be held up to higher standards.
Brad Warnett lives just down the road from Schmeed Park in northern Montgomery County.
That's a very unattractive name for a park. Where are you going? Schmeed. What are you going to do? I'm going to see some schmeg at Schmeed.
Brad Warnett lives just down the road from Schmeed Park in northern Montgomery County. The small park sits on the north side of Town Line Lake and comes with its own warning of fines and jail time for residents who would dump their trash on county property.
I can't believe these people didn't see this coming.
But it was what the county itself dumped off the road that bothered Warnett.
I come across them tearing down the bathrooms at the park, and then I see them back in here and start dumping them.
So basically, at Schmeed Park, they had a one-down vacuum setup. They wanted it was an eyesore. It's like, all right, this is the rest of this year. We're really going to clean up Schmeed. Let's get rid of this garbage bathroom here. It's not even working. Nobody uses it. It's a mess. It stinks. Rip it down. And go in a dump truck. And then they leave the dump truck. A quarter mile away. Put it in reverse. Step on the brake. Everything flies out of the back of the truck.
That's kind of what it looks like.
And it's just a pile of trash.
County work crews dumped the discarded bathrooms.
It looks like it was wood. I know there's some trash in there, but it looks like it's wood. Is that a problem?
Yeah, they actually talk about that.
In a lot a half-mile down the road. A lot owned by the county itself.
There was fiberglass, treated lumber, there's toilet seats and all that they throw into that rubbish. And other people are British there first.
Warnett spoke to the workers and called the county, hoping someone would clean it up.
Everybody thinks it's a community dump. And this community doesn't need more rubbish.
Translation. It's got to be fixed out here. shoe and like a can of paint and just junk.
County officials told him the wood was biodegradable and was fine where it was. And that's when he turned to Target 8.
It shouldn't be trashed like that.
So he went to the county administrator who initially defended the decision to dump the bathrooms on that corner lot.
He's sticking to it. He's sticking to it. It's fine.
But he changed his tune. He told him it violated the county's own junk
I
and
wonder
rubbish
if they're
ordinance.
fast for yes, like patting it so hard. Until we call them and told them what's up.
So Coker went and did his did a little homework, and this is when he really got some action.
Violated the county's own junk and rubbish ordinance. Here it is in black and white. Quote, junk is defined as old metal, wood, or any other material that because of being discarded, obsolete, or in disrepair is no longer practical to use. The county administrator now says that crews will haul the old bathrooms away and dispose of them properly.
They need to play results from Coker.
Even though the county does own this piece of property, they still got standards to uphold.
This guy better be careful. In Montcalm County, they'll go all Avery
Oh
on
yeah,
him.
non-calm justice.
Yeah.
They're gonna frame him for murder.
Oh my God, yes. It's gonna be the new Mickey the Murderer. Montcalm County. This guy.
I'm Target 8 investigator Ken Colbert.
You're right. Just like the bat signal, it's Ken's face up against a cloud with a spotlight. And we need action. We call Coker.
They need that sound effect that the Batman TV show used. The na-na-na-na.
Yes. Our Target 8 investigators are here to fight for you. If you have a problem that you want Target 8 to solve, give us a call at 800-8-TV. We can do a whole series of things at the radio station right now. That's wood, and it's cool. No big deal.
I know wood. I work for them.
And then they're like, no, we can do that. And then Ken Coker has to show them in order for that to happen. That's embarrassing.
Well, I don't think they...
Maybe they didn't know their own guidelines?
Yeah, probably.
Man.
I mean, who knows when they wrote those guidelines? It could have been done like 50 years ago.
But just the simple thing of ripping it down in order to make the place look better, and then now you take what's left and dump it a half mile down the road? That's the dumbest thing in the world. I guess that's all Montcalm. Is that right? Does it look bad on them? Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Coming up next, the world appeared to lose their mind yesterday with a story about a woman who hasn't been seen since 1937. We'll tell you who and discuss this whole deal coming up in a few short minutes. But first off, thanks to Xfinity for being on board with the show. Of course, they have their on-time guarantee. This is awesome. If you sign up for Xfinity's service, and let's say you're you need like a little work done, or maybe another line installed or something like that. One of the things that they've done to make the experience better for the customer is improve the entire customer service experience. They have 2-hour appointment